So this here is from Realtor.com, and they have like this apartment hunting checklist, and then here's a guide that walks you through some different things, things you need to know before you fully get into wanting to buy a house. This is a roadmap for the buyer's process, so they can kind of see step by step. And I want you to generate 20 new questions. And then at the bottom, I have like 2 separate Google Chromes with each of the emails, my business email and then my personal email. So that helps me organize everything. Those are the 10 topics that make up the 50 questions, because each one has 5 questions about that topic. As you can see, I have like most of my stuff done. Like my seller's work is done, my buyer's work is done. I'm still doing a little bit of work on agents, my agent's work, and then I'm about to add rentals. Hello. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. I'm Yasharika, and in today's video we are going behind the scenes of my real estate referral service that I will be offering soon. So I'm going to get some work done on that. Today I am going to focus on rentals. So I have to do like a questionnaire for rental clients. Really is to help the rental agent, but it's to collect information about the rental client. So really I work within more sales, but I still want to help rental clients and agents as well. So that's something that I'm planning to add. So the first thing I'm going to do is look over the questionnaire for buyers, and then I'm going to make one for the renters, but it's going to be different. Like the buyer ones it's going to have more information. The buyer one is complete. It's a 50 questionnaire, so it has 10 different like topics and subjects, and so each topic has 5 questions. So it's a total of 50 questions, but the rental one is only going to have 10 questions. So I want to keep the same like process for all my clients, but each one is going to be a little bit different. Obviously, the seller's process is going to be different from buyer's process, and the buyer's process is going to be different from the rentals process. So I'm focused on rentals today, but I will show you guys the difference between my buyer's questionnaire and then this new rental questionnaire, which I'm going to call the Rental Readiness Report. So yes, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to focus a little bit on the rental package. I have to start that. So today I'm probably just going to figure out and kind of put together a list of the things that I want to include, but I'm not going to be fully creating it today. I'm definitely not going to finish today, definitely not in this video, but I do want to get a start on what I want to include. And once again, I will show you an example of the buyer's one I have. I do have a buyer's packet, and it is called the Grand Home Buying Guide. So I will show you guys that. It's like 60 something pages. So it has some of the things that I've made myself, I created myself, and then there are some information from like Realtor.com and some other, helpful, beneficial sources. So I'm going to be showing you guys that while I am working on some new things as well. So I'm going to bring you guys over here so that you can see what's going on in my laptop. So I'm going to go ahead and get that up and running, and then I will come back on so you guys can see everything that I'm working on. Okay guys, so I am back. I have everything pulled up on my laptop now, and so now that I'm set up, what I'm going to do first is go through my starter client questionnaire so that I can see what are some of the questions that are already being answered, and so I can kind of like add on to that. I won't be like repeating anything, because there is a starter questionnaire that only has 5 questions, that clients will like, they'll see that on my website and they can fill it out, and then once they fill it out and I kind of know what they're looking for and what their goals are, then we go into that 50 question questionnaire, um, for sellers and buyers. But for renters, they will still have like this beginning questionnaire with 5 questions, but their full-on questionnaire is only going to have 10 questions instead of 50. So, but I still have to go in and double check with what I already have, and then especially I can go into ChatGPT and put in the questions that I already have, so I can have her generate some new ones, that I can pick out. So that's what I'm going to start with. So I use Google Form. So that's what I'm on right now. I'm using Google Forms. That's what my current starter questionnaires are. And then I made my own 50 question one, through Google Docs. And that one I will fill out myself based on a phone call or like a video chat of me talking to the client, or the agent, because the agents, I have the same process for agents. They'll have a starter questionnaire and then the full questionnaire, and then I will talk to them and figure out, all the details for the 50 question ones. I'll fill it out myself, instead of making a big, 50 question questionnaire through Google Forms. So let's see. And the client one, well, right now, the client one is just for buyers and sellers. But like I said, I'm adding rental to the process. That's what I'm trying to work on today. So the questions that I currently have in the starter one involves like, what are they looking to do? So buy, sell, both, and then I'll add rent. And then I ask like their ideal time frame that they want to move. So is it like as soon as possible, 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 months plus. And then I ask like where are they looking? So city, state, county, country, any specific areas, neighborhoods. And then I ask what is their biggest priority. So it could be like the pricing of it, how quickly they're able to move, just finding the right rental property or the right neighborhood or whatnot. So those are the main questions. And then I ask like, how did they find out about me? And then to put in their information, name and contact information. So that's the starter one. So I'll just have to like update it to include things of rental information. But what I really want to do right now is take these questions and put them into chat so she don't redo it for the 10 questions I'm about to do for the rental readiness report. So that's what I'm about to do now. Just copy these. While I'm here, I do need to make a new Google Doc so that I can paste the new questions as well. So, and I will show you guys the buyer questionnaire. So let's do, come on, rental readiness report. Now make the font size bigger later and all that, but that's really what I wanted to do, just make this new page. Well, you know what, I'm just gonna tell her what I want, and then I'll just pick out the ones that I want. And if there's anything that is repeating, well, I'll just do this. I'll just do this. I'm gonna split the screen. I'm just gonna do halfway between my Google Forms and chat. So I don't know if y'all can like tell, but like, okay, so my real estate stuff is blue over here. That's like the background and everything that I have on this side. And then my personal stuff, anything that's related to my personal email or personal social medias, is like this pinkish purple color over here. So that helps me separate. And then at the bottom I have like two separate Google Chromes with each of the emails, my business email and then my personal email. So that helps me organize everything. So I'm gonna tell chat, I'm gonna say I'm going to post, well, let's just say paste. I'm going to paste my current starter questions on here, and I want you to generate 20 new questions to ask potential rental clients based on okay, let's see, based on the rental readiness report I gave you, because she actually did give me ideas at an earlier time, and so now I'm just going back to fill it in. So I pasted in the information that she just like gave me more topics to put in this report, but I want her to give me actual full-on questions so that I can just speed this process up. I don't know, it'd be taking a little longer on here. On my phone, it's quick, you know, in the app, but for one thing, I got so much stuff open on this laptop, it just takes a minute for her to do it on here. But if I did it on my phone, I would have to screen record it because I'm using my main phone now to record. So yeah. Okay, so she says, I'm ready. Go ahead and paste your current starter questions. Once I see them, I'll generate 20 fresh ones tailored to your rental readiness report. Let's do it. All right, so I have to let her know that the current questions are more for buyers and sellers, but I'll tell her that I will customize those to rental questions later on. So I have to tell her that, and then I can put it in. So let me see. I'll customize them as rental questions later. All right, so now I told her that, I'm just going to paste them in and she'll understand. So now I'm just going to copy and paste what I have. So now I wait. So yeah, I asked her to give me 20 questions, but I'm only going to pick out 10. So, you know, I don't tell her to just give me 10 if I want 10, because not every single one of the questions I'm going to like. So I try to prepare ahead of time. So I'm waiting for her to do that. And then the ones I like, I will paste into the Google Docs that I have. So while I'm waiting on her to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and just do some edits to the document I have. Let's see. So I'm just gonna put the title in bold and making it a bigger font. And I'm gonna center it. Okay, so she has the questions. Before I get into the questions, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the buyer's questionnaire first. So, alright, so I'm waiting on that to load so you guys can see it. Alright, so this is the buyer's questionnaire. You can see that this is my little logo up top in the corner. And then I have like this picture of sold, meaning that a buyer bought it. This is a AI generated picture. I don't want nothing, you know, copyrighted or anything like that. So yeah, I had it made through AI. Let me see. Okay, and then down here in the corner, this is me, a picture of me with my logo on my shirt, and then it has my information, name, phone number, email, and website link. So that's the beginning page, and then here are all the questions. So this is the basic information. Oops, I didn't even go up. Basic information, motivation and goals, financial readiness, location preferences, community and lifestyle interests, property needs, property features, additional requirements, future plans, and communication preferences. So yeah, all of those are the 10 topics that make up the 50 questions, because each one has 5 questions about that topic. So yeah, that's the buyer's version. Like I said, I'm only gonna have 10 questions for the rental clients, but yeah, the buyer's one, that's how it looks. So I have a seller's one. It looks just like it in the same way, just has a, you know, different picture, different topic, different questions. Same for agents. I have one for agents as well. But now, so I plan on the rental report to look something like that. I'm gonna add a picture. I don't know, it may be just like 1 or 2 pages. The rest of them are 6 pages, but so I'm still working on that. But now I have to go in here and pick out what questions I want to add. So let's see what chat came up with for me. Let's see. Okay, so it's asking, do you know your estimated credit score range? So I think that's a good question I would want to put in here. Let's see. All of these are good questions. So I have 4 picked out so far. I'm just pasting those in. Alright, let's see. Okay, so I have 3 more that I've picked. Let me see, I got 4 copied, so one of them I'm going to take out because I don't want that one. Let's see. see, I'm adding in 2 more. So let me see how many I have right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Alright, y'all, one more. Alright, I'm gonna go with this one. I have my 10, so I have, do you know your estimated credit score range? Are you currently employed? Will your income alone support your rent, or will you need a cosigner? Have you rented before? Have you ever broken a lease or been evicted? Do you have any pets that will be living with you? Are you looking for a short-term or a long-term lease? Do you require any special accommodations, so like wheelchairs or no stairs or something like that? Do you have funds available for the first month's rent and security deposit? And then are there any specific features you must have, like a washer, dryer, garage, or whatever the case may be? Yeah, I think those are some of the most basic ones, but some important ones as well. So like I said, it's only gonna be 10. I'm not gonna do too much, but those are the questions I'm gonna use. You know what I should have did? I'm telling you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy the buyer's one, so that way I won't have to put in all my information again, doing like, the header and the footer in the Google Docs. I'm gonna just copy that and redo it. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do all that later. Video is getting quite long, so I'm gonna move on to the second part. So going over the rental packet and showing you guys the buyer one that I already have. So I'm gonna do a little bit of that. Like I said, I'm just going to get some of the basic things of what I want to put in there, but I'm not going to be creating the whole thing today. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And once I finish the full-on rental report, I will show it to you guys in the next video that is available once it's finished. So yeah, let's go ahead. I'm gonna show you guys the buyer's one, the buyer's packet. Here we go. All right, so it says the grand home buying guide, and then down here it says your overview for a smooth and successful home purchase. So this is just the front. It's still the first page, so it has like all my information. Company name, well, business name, my name, phone number, email, website link, my license number, and the company that I'm under, the brokerage firm that I'm under. So what I'm going to do right quick, I'm going to make this smaller. It's 61 pages. I'm just going to dash through it. I'm not going to walk y'all through one by one because it's just too much. But, this is something that I did for the buyers. Like I said, sellers have one, and agents have one as well. So, no, that's not what I want. Y'all, the zoom is on 91. It ain't even on 100, but it's just too big. Okay, so let me see. Well, I got it on now. I got it on 25 right now. Okay, so yes, this here is just the first page, and then it has like showing the table of contents. But yeah, so this is basically a table of contents. It's 2 pages because there's so much stuff in there. But in there, it actually has like the name of like everything that's listed in here, where it came from. Like I said, some are from me, some are from my brokerage, eXp Realty, some are from realtor.com, and NAR as well, so the National Association of Realtors. So it tells you the root and, you know, where the source came from, the info, so like what it's supposed to explain, and then the page numbers. So this is a welcome letter that I've made myself, well, through my brokerage, EXP, but you know, I wrote my own little message in there. It's just, you know, I had to edit it myself, basically. And then I talk about how my service works and some, you know, some things about my company. This is a roadmap for the buyer's process, so they can kind of see step by step. Now, of course, every process, everybody's journey and roadmap is going to be a little bit different depending on what comes up, but overall, this is the roadmap of it. And then here's a guide that walks you through some different things, you know, things you need to know before you fully get into wanting to buy a house. So we have all of that. This is a topics to consider page. This right here helps you, this I made myself, as you can see. That's another AI picture that I generated. But this right here goes through all of the different topics that I mentioned in the questionnaire. So the basic information, the motivation and goals, you know, etc., the financial readiness, all of those things that I talked about in the questionnaire, I have it in this packet so that they can already start thinking about some of the questions that I'm going to ask, so that they're not, you know, blindsided. You know, it's not a pop quiz, you know, it's really what they want, but some people, you know, some people don't fully know what they want. So it's just some things that, like I said, it's topics to consider and why. So, you know, I'm just going over some things that they need to start thinking about, and like what are the reasons, like knowing, let me pick one as an example really quick. Okay, so one of the biggest things that you hear in real estate is location. So I talk about and I ask about location preferences because that's important. You don't want to just pick any old house that you like. The location is going to be important, especially, you know, let's say you have kids. If you have kids, schooling is going to be important. If you have a dog, then, you know, maybe you want to be near a dog park, or, you know, somewhere where you can like actively walk. Like I wouldn't want to be walking anywhere where there's not like really any sidewalks to be walking on, you know, if I'm going to be walking my dog. So that's a quick example, but I just had all of those in there. This is real estate terminology, so some keywords that you may hear and want to know about ahead of time, so that you're not, once again, blindsided. And it's just full of other things. I can't even go through all of this stuff, but it's very helpful. Yeah, it's some very helpful information in here, obviously, you know, I wouldn't put all of this stuff in here if it was, you know, something to BS with your time, but it's all important things that you need to like know. And then I have like this little list here about prepping your house for like a housewarming, you know, cleaning, getting everything ready, you know, before you invite guests over. So, you know, cute little things like that. And then the last page is going to have like all of my information, you know, where you can find all of my social media accounts, again, phone number, email, all of those things. So, but yeah, so this one here, this is the buyer one. It has 61 pages. The seller's one has less than this. I believe the agent one is less than this as well. So the buyer's one is probably the biggest one, but it's a lot of helpful information. So I'm going to be making something like this for renters, but it's not going to be this long. I would say maybe half, possibly below that. So it shouldn't be over 30 pages if this one has 60. So I've been already kind of looking at some things. So let me see really quick. All right, so this here is from realtor.com, and they have like this apartment hunting checklist. So you know, it's free to download, so I will be including this in mine. Again, I always put the source, you know, that's also why it's free. I'm not going to sell anybody's work, but you know, just things like this. Some of these I include like in my packet, and then some of these things I do just add the link to them as a resource on my website. So I don't know if I already downloaded this, but we're gonna see now. Let's see. Okay, so this is that's 5 pages. Okay. So yeah, it has some good information. Let me see, let me download, let me see if I already, nope, I don't have it. Okay, so that's good. So now I'm just gonna save it. And then this will be included. It's gonna be, you know, just like the other ones, a big PDF file. So I will add this to my PDF file once I finish adding like my questions and stuff in there. But I'm going to show you guys like another source of where I make these. This one, obviously I didn't make. This is from realtor.com. But some of the ones I make are 100% from me, you know, just making it on Google Docs. But I also use my brokerage firm as well. So really quick, I'm going to pull up my Canva account with them, because I do have a Canva account with my brokerage, so I'm going to pull that up. Canva has a lot of templates, and so the company has a lot of templates themselves, you know, with the brokerage logo already on them and stuff. So it doesn't have much of anything like for tenants and people who are renting and doing rentals. So what I'm going to have to do is customize a lot of the buyer ones, and then do something a little different with that. So let's see, I'm trying to give an example. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all that road, like I showed y'all that buyer's roadmap. I'm gonna show that because that's something I know I want to turn into a rental one. So let's do roadmap. So right now I'm in the content that's I'm in just the brands template. So this is just the templates of stuff for my real estate brokerage. So you see here, this is their buyer's roadmap. So I want to do something similar to this for renters. So I'm going to edit it. Right now it has a picture of a house. I don't know if I can change that to an apartment, but we'll see. But yeah, I'll definitely change the title and change the information. And I'll ask chat, you know, if I can't think of like a full, it only has 8 steps on here. So if I can't think of the full 8 steps, I'll get chat to do it for me. And then I'll fill it in based on the ones I would like to include in the process. So, but yeah, that's just an example. So this is where I will get some of my sources. I'll come on here on Canva and edit some things. Like I said, most of the things are set on buyers, so I'll just take what's available for buyers and put them into the rental ones, you know, just to make some rental PDF files so that I can add into the packet. But yeah, you know, that's another source that I will use. Again, I just wanted to, you know, get some ideas, show you guys the starter process of it. I'm not going to finish this today, but I will work more on it. You'll see more on it like probably in the next video or so. But that is going to complete this video, and I will I'm going to be working a little bit more on this today, and then again you'll see it in some more of my videos that I have next, that I have upcoming. I have like 3 more that I have to do today, so you will see it in this week's content for this week. Once this video come out, you'll see some more content on it, and I'm just going to continue this process and finishing this up until I launch. And yeah, guys, so that's what I'm focused on right now. As you can see, I have like most of my stuff done. Like my seller's work is done, my buyer's work is done. I'm still doing a little bit of work on my agents work, and then I'm about to add rentals so that I can have like all residential at least, and then I will add in my commercial stuff in the future. But yeah, you guys, so I have a lot of work to do. That was just some of the beginning prep work, but you guys will see more of that in the upcoming videos. So I will see you guys in the next one.